Hi everybody, Mike D'Angelo here with FandomWire's film review crew, coming at you to discuss some people's film event of the year, some people's film event of the past decades, some people's film event of their lifetime in J.J. Abrams' Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. I will say right off the top, I'm not going to get into spoilers. This is just a general initial reaction to help you gauge your expectations going in. But I will kind of address how it reacts to the previous films. So, with that said, if you're on board, buckle up, we're going to talk Rise of Skywalker. Question number one, and the question that's probably on the top of your mind, the one you want most answered, does JJ stick the landing? And I hate to say it, but not really. I want so badly to say yes, everything's tied up in a neat bow, and it gives the character such colorful endings and new beginnings, but really, it's just not that. What it does feel like is kind of sloppy, corner cutting, and retconning of what's come before in order to service where they wanted to end. And that pains me to say. And I am a fan of Force Awakens. I am a fan to a certain extent of The Last Jedi, more than most people, it seems, as I've defended it in conversations with countless people. There are certainly some things that I take issue with in The Last Jedi, but I think I may have more issues with The Rise of Skywalker, just because it's such a harsh redirecting by J.J. Abrams and company, both in character and in plot, coming out of that movie. So it does spend quite a lot of time just reacting to that film rather than moving the plot forward. But I will say it moves at breakneck speed. It's filled with action. There's lots of force powers to reckon with and likely debate after this movie is over. So there's a lot of Star Wars-y stuff in it, but in the end it feels more like fan fiction than an actual Star Wars canon movie, which is a little disappointing. I'm a fan of J.J. Abrams, not just The Force Awakens, but in general. I like his Star Trek films. I like his just non-franchise movies, which are few and far between, but I've really enjoyed his work in general. So Rise of Skywalker, in my opinion, probably his weakest effort yet. Just as far as movies making sense and not having to drill exposition into the audience to make them understand what's going on. Generally, Star Wars has exposition here and there. This movie is just jam-packed with it, so you're being pulled along by both that and the rapid action that's happening minute to minute. And you're too distracted to really react to the last thing that came before, because there's more either issues or something distracting to think about right around the corner. So, is it more Star Wars? Yes. Is it the worst movie of the year? No, by a long shot. I was entertained. I had a good time at certain points in the movie. I had a bad time at certain points in the movie. But I really, as a Star Wars fan, I want to see it again and reckon with it. Initial reaction, though, is it just kind of misses the mark for me. The overall trajectory of the plot, I don't really take issue with. I take issue with the fact that the movie doesn't have much of a theme outside of the plot, and that it just cuts corners everywhere, like I was saying before. So maybe that'll rub me a little less the second time around, but first time, it's hard to really wrap my head around how much this movie doesn't necessarily feel like Star Wars. So I need to sit on it. You need to see it. Keep liking, commenting, and subscribing here at FandomWire, and we'll go into spoiler territory very soon, I'm sure. So keep it posted here. Thanks.